Hey yo, we back again on Foot '09 here. Bro, we got news. We got news. Next year is the FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil. Brazil will be hosting the Women's World Cup next year. It's gonna be a blast, bro. A couple of teams already qualified for the World Cup next year, and the teams and their lineups for the Women's World Cup looks insane. Crazy. Let's start off with the hosts. They have already qualified. They got a stack squad, bro. That's filled with experience, young talent, and more, bro. It's very crazy, bro. With Brazil, as you know, they got a very stacked squad. They got the likes of Marta still going strong. That's the big name in the squad. Marta. To see if they bring her to the 2027 World Cup will be amazing, bro. Amazing. Brazil got the likes of Luna, Marta, as we said before, Debina, Gabi Portillo. These are experienced players. Mix it with the younger players, Tassian, Beninia. They're playing very well for their clubs. Beninia is in the NWSL, Tassian following pick Leones. They're very good. Lauren Leao, a centre back for Atletico Madrid. Luani, Atletico Madrid, who had 10 assists last season. Yeah. Rising star Dudina, who plays her football in the NWSL. Very good player, very young player. I believe she could score 20 plus goals this season. Even though she had a knock the other day in a match, I believe she'll come back stronger after that injury has been healed. So, this Brazil squad is very stacked for the World Cup. I haven't mentioned Caroline from Man City, who plays her football in the WSL, Barclays WSL Super League. She's great, very great. Brazil have a very good squad which could avoid defeat other than that early crash out in 2023 which they drew against Jamaica, which you can see they got knocked out in the group stage. So for next year's World Cup, which they'll be the hosts of that World Cup, so it will be in their backyard. I believe they will advance from the group stage going on to the knockout phase. I very do believe that they will achieve that. Brazil have never won the Women's World Cup. The Women's World Cup started in 1991, hosted by China. United States won that first World Cup. Then in 1995, it was hosted by Sweden. Norway went away with that one. In 1999, it was hosted by the United States, which they went ahead to win that World Cup in 1999. 2003, Germany won that World Cup, which was hosted again in United States. 2007, the World Cup was hosted in China. And Germany went away with the 2007 World Cup. 2011, Homare Sawa. Those were the times. Homare Sawa for Japan. It was hosted in Germany. Japan went away and win that World Cup in 2011. 2015, United States won that World Cup, which was hosted in Canada. 2019, United States went ahead to win the World Cup once more, which was hosted in France. So Brazil is yet to win the World Cup, and hopefully next year, 2027, which they will be the hosts, they will go far in that competition and go for the trophy. I believe they can. With this stacked squad, these young players alongside with these experienced players, I do believe they can go far. Yeah. Next we have Colombia, who had booked a direct spot to the World Cup at Brazil next year by winning the Nations League in South America. That's the Women's Nation League in South America, which they beat Paraguay 4-3. Insane, right? It's really insane. Don't get me wrong. Colombia women's team got a good set of players. Lights of Linda Caicedo, Maya Ramirez, Lacey Santos, and Lopez. Bro, it's a good win against Paraguay to book a direct ticket to Brazil for next year. All I have to say is hopefully that none of the players get injured before World Cup. That's all I have to say. Hopefully none of the players get injured. If they could avoid injury and take the same performance that they did in the Women's Nation League for South America and take that same performance in the World Cup, I believe Colombia can get past the group stage. I do believe so. Next up, here we got Denmark. They have also booked their ticket to the FIFA World Cup in Brazil next year. Amazing scenes in Denmark. A lovely, lovely run. They have booked their ticket. They got a good squad. They have vastly experienced players like Pernil Arda, Caroline Muller, former Magista. Also, they got Emma Frage. I'm not sure if I pronounce her last name correctly, but I'll say Emma. So, yes, Emma. So, other than that, I believe they will have a good run in the World Cup as well, based on the performance they put up in qualifying for the World Cup this early. I believe as long as all their players can stay fit throughout the season for their respective clubs, going into the break with the international team for the World Cup next year, as long as all the players stay fit and healthy, I believe Denmark will have a good World Cup. It will. I believe Ivansgaard booked that deal to Aston Villa for playtime, so she will be able to book her spot in the World Cup. Because I don't believe Juventus was going to re-sign her. I believe it was her last year or her contract ran out with Juventus. But knowingly that the Nerazzurri wasn't going to go ahead and use her for next season, they needed to build around, I believe it's Churchy. I'm not sure of her name, but that striker, that young striker that they got, I believe they're trying to build a squad around her. She's young and talented. Vansgaard, she's not the Vansgaard you know back, like I would say 3 years ago. Yeah, she's a bit slower now, and that's it. But as long as she can keep fit and keep up with a good performance in the WSL, because you know the WSL is gonna get heated next season. So hopefully she put up good performances in the WSL, so she'll be able to book her ticket to the World Cup next year, if it's possible. Next, we got Japan. But before we talk about Japan in this video, I want to say congratulations to Philippines. They have just recently burst on the scene back in 2023 when they qualified for their first World Cup. Now they have made it onto the world stage back to back through the Asian qualifiers. So I want to say congratulations to the Philippines women's national team and hopefully wish you a best World Cup in 2027 in Brazil. Back to Japan. They have made the qualification. As you know, Japan have a wildly vast of talented players, especially midfield players, likes of Yui Hasegawa, Tanikawa, Endo, Sugita. We could go on. Shot stopper Yamashita in goal for City, in goal for Japan as well. I believe Japan players know how to keep fit, so I won't have an issue with them keeping fit for the World Cup. I would love for them to put up some stellar performances in the World Cup with the squad that they got, going up against these powerhouses like Spain, England, Netherlands, I would say United States as well. Hopefully they have a good World Cup. Normally they tend to lose focus in the World Cup, always going out either the quarterfinals or sometimes even the semis. Yeah. So hopefully they could go past the quarterfinals and beyond next World Cup. That's my wish for Japan. Still in Asia, here we have Australia. Sam Kerr and her girls have booked their way to Brazil for the World Cup next year. Amazing scenes for the Australians. Good achievement. Hopefully we could see them put up good performances in the World Cup. And hopefully they could get past the group stage and go past the quarterfinals, if possible. Keep all the players healthy, as I said, for Japan and also for Philippines. Hope they keep all their players healthy and fit and ready for the World Cup next year. Next, we got our 2 times champions, Germany, who have already booked their ticket to Brazil for the World Cup next year. This is amazing. This is my favorite to win the World Cup. Germany are one of my favorites to win the World Cup. Actually win the World Cup next year. They got a very good talented squad. No jokes. Lights of Leah Sherla, Gwyn. The names are not coming to my head right now, but you got Leah Sherla, Gwyn, young talent Brand, Julia Brand. Bro, they're gonna go crazy. They still got Dalman. They still got so many stars I can't even remember. But you also got Clara Boo. Yeah. And also you got Ofundo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but Germany is gonna put up a fight in the World Cup next year. I'm I'm gonna say that for sure. I know that for sure. They're one of my favorites to win the World Cup alongside Brazil. But for sure, I know Germany will win the World Cup. They are more of a favorite than Brazil, in my view, to win the World Cup. Next up, here we got France. Oh my god, oh my days. Bro, France could have easily be one of my favorites in this video. But Over the years, back to back World Cup, I've seen France just flunked out of the World Cup. Underwhelming performances in the Euros. Bro, I believe these girls play better for their club than their country, for France, to be honest. They play so good for their club team, their respective clubs. But when it comes to their country, I believe the France squad is stacked with too much talented females and too much ego, I would say. Most of the French girls are forward players. When you check the midfield, it's so stacked, bro. It's so stacked. And most of these girls play for big clubs in Europe or big clubs in the NWSL, bro. So I believe it all comes down to the ego in the squad, bro. Cause today they perform, the next day they don't. So in my view, I believe they will get past the group stage, but I'm not betting that they will pass up to quarterfinals. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of that. But based on the flunking out of the competition multiple times over the years, I have to shake my head, bro. But I love all the French females. I love all of them. All of them are talented players, and I just need them to like gel together more. And when it hits the big stage, play ball, bro. Play ball. Play the ball that I know all of you can do for your respective clubs. Do it on the big stage for your country. That's all I'm asking for France. Next up, we got the world's favorite winners of the Euros and winners of the previous World Cup. Insane. Got some insane set of players, bro. Name don't need mentioning, but I have to call their name. Claudia Pina, for example. Vicky Lopez wants to watch in the World Cup to come next year. De Castillo, Atenea. Oh my god, bro. I don't have words to explain this Spain squad, bro. This Spain squad is good from back to front. From Catacol in the goal to the striker, whether it's Hesta. I don't know who they will be using as a striker. They could also use Salma, Vicky Lopez. They got many options to choose from, bro. They're so mighty. Mighty queens of Europe, bro. And they could be the mighty queens of the world once more. Yeah. No jokes. Bro, these players are insane, bro. If you sit and watch Barcelona, you see Spain, bro. I'm not downplaying any of my fellow Madridista players, bro. I'm not. But look at this Spain squad, bro. It's insane. It reminds me of the 2010 men's squad who won the World Cup. Yeah. And look at this World Cup. Spain seemingly like they're on their way to win this World Cup, 2026 World Cup for the men's. I believe the women's team, Spain women's team, they're gonna go far in this World Cup. They're gonna go all the way to the final. Yeah, they're not one of my favorites to win in, but they're the world's favorite. They're coming off of a good run with their international team. All the players are coming off a good run. And for the respective clubs, all the players are performing. You probably have a few that's not performing well for their clubs, but when they reach onto the international stage, bro, and they get out on that pitch, they do play, bro. They do play. And they play ball too. So I have to say thumbs up to Spain for booking their ticket so this early to the next World Cup in Brazil. Hopefully they could get far in this World Cup all the way to the final and probably win the trophy. But my favorites to win is Germany. So my bets it's a Germany Spain final in Brazil for the Women's World Cup. Tell me what you guys think about this video and tell me if I'm missing out on any country who have already qualified in this video. Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next.